Imagine this. Christopher is sitting at the end of the month, opening his banking app. He already knows what he's going to see, but he checks anyway. His salary came in, and it wasn't small. In fact, Christopher is earning more than he used to a few years ago. He worked hard for it. He earned it. But somehow, it's almost gone. Not completely gone, but enough to make him uncomfortable. Christopher didn't go on a crazy shopping spree. He didn't buy anything outrageous. No luxury items, no big vacations. Just groceries, bills, a few subscriptions, some food deliveries, and maybe a couple of small treats because he felt like he deserved them. And yet, there's barely anything left. So Christopher sits there wondering how this is even possible. How can someone earn more than ever before and still feel like they're barely keeping up? Why does saving money feel harder now than it did when Christopher was earning less? That confusion Christopher feels isn't random. It's not just inflation or bad luck. There's something deeper going on, something psychological and almost invisible. Let's call it the silent drain effect. This is what happens when Christopher's money doesn't disappear in one big obvious decision, but slowly leaks away through small constant almost unnoticeable expenses. No single purchase feels like the problem, but together they quietly destroy Christopher's ability to save. Think about Christopher a few years ago when he got his first real job and promised himself he would be responsible. At first everything felt under control, but slowly small changes crept in. A few subscriptions here, occasional food delivery there, a slightly better phone plan, nicer clothes. None of it felt wrong to Christopher. Each decision seemed reasonable. But by the end of the month Christopher realized there was almost nothing left to save. Fast forward a few years, and Christopher is earning much more. Logically things should feel easier, but instead Christopher's lifestyle has expanded without him even realizing it. Food delivery becomes routine, subscriptions multiply, and convenience becomes the default choice for Christopher. He upgrades his living situation, spends more on comfort, and once again the month ends with little to no savings. The difference now is that Christopher's expenses are higher, and he is more vulnerable. If something unexpected happens, Christopher does not have the cushion he thought he was building. That is the silent drain effect at work, and it is happening to Christopher just like it is happening to millions of people. The reason this happens is rooted in how Christopher's brain works. His brain does not react strongly to small losses. A large expense would hurt and get Christopher's attention, but small amounts barely register. A little extra here, a minor upgrade there, a small convenience fee. Christopher's brain ignores it. But those small amounts stack up over time, quietly becoming the reason Christopher cannot save. At the same time Christopher's brain is wired to prefer comfort and convenience. Cooking takes effort, ordering food feels easy. Waiting feels hard, paying now feels better. Saving feels like sacrifice, spending feels like relief. So Christopher keeps choosing the easier option, not because he is careless, but because his brain is doing exactly what it is designed to do. Think of Christopher's money like water in a bucket. His income is the water he pours in, and his expenses are the holes in the bucket. Christopher might think he only has a few big holes like rent or bills, but the real problem is the tiny holes he does not notice. Subscriptions, small purchases, convenient spending, all quietly leaking water. Each one seems harmless to Christopher, but together they drain his bucket by the end of the month. No matter how much more Christopher earns, the bucket never fills up because the leaks grow with his income. What makes this even harder for Christopher is that modern life is designed to make him spend. Everything is optimized for convenience. Every app, every service, every platform is competing for Christopher's attention and his money. He is not just managing finances, he is constantly being nudged to spend without even realizing it. That is why saving does not get easier automatically when Christopher's income increases. So how does Christopher fix this? Not by relying on discipline alone, because that rarely works. Christopher fixes it by changing the structure around his money. The first step is to make his savings invisible. Instead of getting paid and then deciding what to save, Christopher flips the system. The moment money comes in, a portion of it is automatically moved somewhere else, somewhere he does not constantly see. If Christopher does not see it, he is far less likely to spend it. The second step is awareness. Christopher starts paying attention to where his money is actually going. Not to feel guilty, but to understand the patterns. Most people do not realize how much the small things add up, and once Christopher sees it clearly, he can decide what is worth keeping and what is not. The third step is redefining what feels normal. Christopher's current habits feel normal because he repeats them, but normal can change. Christopher does not need to cut everything or make his life miserable. He just becomes more intentional. He chooses what truly matters and stops spending on things that do not. Saving money is not about deprivation for Christopher. It is about direction. It is about deciding where his money goes instead of wondering where it went. And once Christopher understands that, everything shifts. He stops thinking the solution is simply to earn more. He realizes the real problem was how silently his money was disappearing. So the next time Christopher checks his bank account at the end of the month, he does not just look at the number. He asks himself a better question. Where did it leak? Because once Christopher sees the leaks, he can finally start keeping what he earns, and that is when saving stops feeling impossible and starts feeling like control.